I disagree with Greg O'Gallagher. Last month, Greg O'Gallagher posted a video titled "The Strength Goals to Gain 10 Pounds of Muscle." Let's catch the uninitiated up to date with our boy Greg here. He is a part of an aristocracy of bodybuilders. I'm talking cream of the crop. The best of the best, the most elite task force of the natural, aesthetic, Greek god physique bodybuilders you can find. This war chief leads them all. It can even fight too. I was very confused when I saw this video because if somebody wanted to build muscle, they wouldn't train for strength. What I mean by this is lower rep ranges. Can using these training parameters build muscle? Yes. But is it the most optimal and the most conducive way to build muscle? No. Let's hop into Greg's video and see what he has to say.
It's me looking at 3 exercises. If you increase these 3 exercises by the right amount, you can put on 10 pounds of lean mass.
Greg makes it sound like you need to do these 3 specific key exercises to build this static number of 10 pounds of muscle. Any exercise you do, provided adequate internal and external variables, will build strength and or hypertrophy depending on your goals. Also, I just want to quickly point out that these 3 exercises have better alternatives, and we'll get into that later.
Important to state that muscle is a byproduct of strength. So the reason we put on and build muscle is in order to lift heavier. It is in order to be stronger.
This point in Greg's video, I completely agree with. A bigger muscle can become a stronger muscle. This is why powerlifters and strongmen periodize their training to focus on building muscle, because you can then make it stronger in the future.
There's 2 components of gaining muscle. There's tension and there's volume. There's increasing strength and increasing the amount of work you do in a condensed period of time.
Okay, Greg here forgot the most essential variable in all of training: intensity. You can have time under tension, you can have volume, but if you don't have intensity, your body won't have a reason to grow. Forget tension and volume. If you don't have intensity, unless you're a beginner, first year of training, even second year, your sad, pathetic, Jimmy Little body won't have a reason to grow. Based on video, he's talking about people that aren't beginners. This is for the completely elite advanced. And you're not going to build 10 pounds of muscle. What you need to do is prioritize intensity in your training. You can have all the volume you want. If you do 20 sets of 20 reps, 1 set of 10 reps that makes you go to failure is going to give you way better results than those 20 sets combined. So you really want to focus on intensity in your training. Also, 50 to 60 seconds of time under tension. If you hit failure within 50 to 60 seconds of time under tension, that is a perfect way to put your muscles in the perfect conditions for muscle growth.
Now, most of the muscle you're going to build is going to come from that strength, that tension, getting stronger in that 5 to 8 rep range. That's going to be about 80% of the muscle you build.
No, provided that you are training hard. Contrary to popular belief, the 5 to 8 rep range is such a strength-focused rep range. Unless you're a weirdo going up and down for 4 to 8 seconds, that would just make you the equivalent of someone who doesn't put their phone on dark mode, and I don't want to talk to you. Because the muscles aren't experiencing the stretch and the flex.
It always is to get the stretch and to get the flex.
Your muscles won't be put under the right conditions to completely optimize and build the biggest and most amount of muscle in a short period of time. If you train hard and you're training in the 1 to 8 rep range, expect major strength gains, not hypertrophy gains. Like I've said before, you will gain hypertrophy. You will be working some hypertrophy, but you're not optimizing it. You're not specifically training for it. This is why there's bodybuilding and powerlifting and strongman. There's parameters set for these sports for a reason. This is why you do 12 to 15 reps for hypertrophy and way less for strength.
I've done very minimalist routines and gotten a lot bigger.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
How did you get even bigger with even worse workout routines?
Press, incline barbell bench press to increase by 30 pounds. So 3 times the weight you put on, you should put onto your incline barbell bench press. So let's say you're 170 pounds and you incline, let's say 210. To get to 180, that incline has to come up to at least 240.
Okay, essentially what he says in this next part is that if you gain 10 pounds of weight, then you should be able to lift 30 more pounds on your incline and 50 more pounds on your deadlift, which is just a dumb statement. I hate how he pulls all of his viewers close and then puts them all in a mold, like everybody's supposed to expect the same amount of results. It kind of reminds me of the school system. Everybody's being taught the same way, teaching the same things to everybody. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. We have to learn our own and work with what we have. Not everybody can fit into this mold, and not everybody is built to do a deadlift or built to do an incline bench. For a lot of people, the incline bench overworks the anterior delt and isn't a good exercise. It even hurts their arms and their shoulders. Also, Greg, 10 pounds of muscle? Nobody's gonna gain 10 pounds of muscle in the first place over the course of 4 to 5 years if you're an intermediate or advanced. Even an advanced lifter won't gain that in 5 years unless they have amazing genetics. Unless you're a beginner and you have amazing genetics, you're never gaining 10 pounds of muscle. And if you're on steroids, gaining 10 pounds of muscle as an intermediate to advanced is still incredibly hard. Even with the steroids, you need great genetics. This is the law of diminishing returns. The more you do it, the harder it gets. If you're an expert, you're not gaining 10 pounds of muscle ever. I don't care if you even have good genetics. If the person has good genetics and they pop a bunch of trenbolone sandwiches for lunch, then yes, I would believe that you were able to smack on a heck of muscle. But 10 pounds is really hard to believe. Here's an example of not training hard. If you train like this, you aren't going to see the results that you want. You're going to see results, sure, but they're going to be mediocre. Don't train like this guy. Train like this guy.
He needs some milk.
You focus on hitting those PRs and getting their strength up, everything works very, very well.
Okay, let's start breaking this down. Just because you got stronger doesn't mean that you gained any lean, aesthetic Greek god muscle.
Really of rock hard muscle. So rock hard muscle. So
you could have just got fatter, the range of motion lessened, and you're just lifting more weight. Or you just got fatter, which increases the chances of you lifting more weight. It doesn't even mean you got stronger, and it doesn't mean you gained any muscle. Shorter people will no doubt have an easier time adding this weight and lifting this amount of weight. Because of their shorter arms, the bar doesn't have to travel down as far. Also, what if I dirty bulked up by 20 pounds? You're telling me that just because I've added 20 pounds since I dirty bulked, that I'm gonna lift 60 more pounds on my incline and 100 more pounds on my deadlift?
What?
if you don't want to do the deadlift as your heavy exercise, you can do the Bulgarian split squat, and that should increase again by 50 pounds.
Okay, great. Our man Greg here gives us an alternative. If you don't want to do the deadlift, the sumo deadlift, you can do the Bulgarian split squat. I'm not too fond of exercises that split the workload on one leg to the other. Doing time under tension for 50 to 60 seconds on one leg and then switching to the other leg, you're going to be huffing and puffing. You're going to be not as motivated, and you're simply not going to go as hard as you would on that first leg to that second leg. There's no way you're going to be putting in that same amount of effort into the other leg as the first. And it makes you stay in the gym longer, so there's no point.
Muscle you gain is very, very predictable and
Impressive.
What?
Lastly, exercise replacement. What I recommend instead are the bench, squat, obviously. If you don't have access to weights or the gym, I would recommend push-ups, which you can progressive overload, weighted pull-ups or chin-ups, you can overload that, and also goblet squats. Add a backpack and fill it up with whatever you have. It could be textbooks, rocks, stuff that fits, and just wear it. And there you go, you're adding more weight and you're progressive overloading. To make push-ups harder, I like to do power push-ups, which increase the push-up difficulty significantly. There are also harder variations to do as well. If you want to make push-ups easier, just keep declining yourself, like off of a table or a bed or even a wall, if you want to make the exercise a lot easier. Everybody's different in terms of strength and skill level. I'm going to end the video here because the rest of his video is just irrelevant to the topic. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate literally every single view. And it does mean a lot to me. I'm not here to hate on anybody. I really just want to make sure that the right information gets out to everybody, and that us Gen Z lifters, I'm in high school, so, you know, the Gen Z population, you know, we grow up with the best information, hopefully, in that. Just because we're Gen Z and we're lifters doesn't mean we're stupid and we'll follow everything we see online. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever it may be, and have a good day and stay blessed.